I'm Rob.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the Paranormal Activity, The Lost Soul Review by Barefoot Gaming. Paranormal Activity, The Lost Soul immerses you in a terrifyingly realistic environment with haunting atmosphere and the need to survive. With very limited guidance, your free movement enables you to discover the secrets that lie in this house of horror. Armed with a flashlight, you find yourself exploring what appears to be a quite average-looking home in a woodsy neighborhood. Before long, you discover you're not alone as you unravel the mystery of what's gone on in this house and struggle to survive the terror that begins to hunt you. Let's explore this house now, shall we? And see if this game is worth the cost of admission. So that gave you an idea of what the game looks like. Now let's talk about the game itself, and we'll start with movement, because it's got something a little unique. Matthew.
The movement for the game is a little bit different. It gives you room scale to walk in, but it also gives you forward and reverse on the controller itself. So if you're walking forward in your room and then you also press the forward button, it can make you a little bit nauseous at times. So I recommend just standing in one spot and kind of pivoting your body and then using your forward and reverse to kind of go in that direction. Because the way that you go forward is by just facing in that direction.
So what this game does is it moves you forward in whatever direction you're looking. So if you want to turn to the left, you turn your head. Like Matthew said, it just works better when you turn your whole body every time. And if you get to a spot that you kind of want to explore in a room, feel free to move around in room scale. But most of your movement is going to happen forward and backward on the trackpad. So no teleport in this game. That's something that should be pointed out. And they can't really do teleport because in this sort of setting, it would take away a lot of the fear that sits behind there when you hear something crashing behind you or hear something else.
So in this game, you can also have a little bit of inventory slots. When you pick up your
Flashlight,
yes. You have a flashlight and you can pick up batteries throughout the house as you're walking around, and you go through your inventory by pressing right or left on the controller itself. Now, there's sometimes going to be items that you can pick up, and I do recommend almost picking up everything that you can and just dropping it, and if it doesn't drop, then it'll go into your inventory and that'll trigger an event for you.
Because we found in a couple of times when we saw something on the ground and we didn't pick it up, nothing got triggered. We were walking around the house, nothing's happening. We're trying all the doors, they're all locked. You pick up a book that's at the bottom of the stairs, for example, and all of a sudden you hear somebody running upstairs. So those are triggers we recommend picking up and interacting with as much as you possibly can. The game itself has you outside of a house right off the bat. It's a house for sale. It's supposed to be empty. You find a key, get yourself inside. As soon as you're in, doors are locked. There's no spoiler. That happens within 30 seconds of the gameplay. Once the doors are locked, you've got to figure out how you're going to get back out, and that is by going through different doors.
So it's a horror thriller type game where you walk around the house and you're trying to open doors and stuff can kind of go on. There's a little kid that kind of runs around. Her mom is boarding up windows and doors to trying to keep you going outside, and you'll notice that as soon as you actually enter the house, if you look behind you, the door is going to be boarded up as soon as you walk away. So if you walk back, you're not going to be able to leave the house. And occasionally you'll see her walking upstairs and doing specific things.
Or violent things, but we're not going to spoil too much because there is violence and a lot of fear. The atmosphere with the music in this game is pretty high end. So speaking of graphics and the music.
The graphics look really good. If you're just looking at it from the monitor, it doesn't look the best, but as soon as you put on the VR headset, I got immersed instantly. It looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful, everything around you just feels so realistic, and you can walk around and interact with it, which makes it so much better.
It's done in the Unreal Engine, so you can see the polish right off the bat. The lighting, fantastic. Doesn't matter if you're holding a lighter or your flashlight, and your flashlight will flicker and you have to shake it to try to get it going again. Finding enough batteries to keep you going because you do not want to end up in that house in the dark. The music, the sound effects, stuff that will just mess with your head. Let's talk about one example of something that maybe gave us a jump ourselves. Matthew.
For me, I was walking down the hallway and I had kind of heard some noises, and there was a fallen bookcase, and I kind of peeked my head past the bookcase, and all of a sudden I saw this child's mom with a hammer after she was done boarding up the window, and she just started speaking to me and walking towards me, and I couldn't move at all. I was kind of frozen, and she just beat me over the head with the hammer, and it definitely startled me.
You're not always in regular reality. Sometimes the lighting changes and you can kind of tell that you're like more in a paranormal area.
Yeah.
So for me, I was walking in an area, all of a sudden everything went red. Glasses started breaking all around me. I went through a door and the floor fell away with only leaving planks, and I couldn't see the bottom. It's just a massive, massive hole. Yeah. So it makes your stomach kind of lurch. You don't know if something's still coming after you. It's just a feeling of dread that just sits in your stomach the entire time you're playing. So before we get to the review, the price on this thing right now is $37.39 Canadian. That's with a 15% discount because the game is brand new, but we're going to review it at the prices listed. So Matthew, how many old-timey, spooky record players out of 10 would you give this, and why?
So I would probably give it a 5.5, just because the graphics look really good, but I couldn't see myself playing the game that frequently to justify the price on it. But I could definitely see someone else really digging their teeth into this game and enjoying it.
I would give this 6 myself, which sounds like a really low score. Both of our scores don't sound fantastic, but I know for myself, part of that plays into the fact that as a almost $40 video game, I really want something that'll be a little bit different over time. And this game does play different every time you play, but the rooms will always stay the same. The jump scares will be in different spots. If this thing was a little bit cheaper, if it was like in the $25 price range, I'd be giving this like an 8 or more. But it's not something that I could really see myself sinking piles and piles of hours into. Great with friends, something I will be introducing other people to if they want to be scared. This is a great game to do that with.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's a review for
Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul. Oh, on the spot, had to quickly.
Thank you so much. Have a good day. Talk to you later.
See ya.